besties, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Stels. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for the love. Please like this video, share and subscribe, and all of that good stuff. So today we're going to talk about living in a basement. Like, what does it entail to live in a basement? Like, I don't think we had so many. I don't even think I've seen a basement back home from Nigeria, but in here a lot of the houses have basement. Now there are various kinds of apartments, of houses. There are apartments, condos, townhouses, high-rise buildings. So yeah, it depends on your budget. It depends on the province you're going to. So I want to give an informed decision. There are so many myths and speculations about living in a basement. So I'm going to debunk some of those myths, and I'm going to actually tell you the ones that are actually real and are not myths. Okay, so I'll just talk about my experience trying to get this apartment. When we were in Nigeria, we searched Facebook Marketplace. We searched, my husband searched Kijiji, and then we were seeing some houses, but they were looking too good to be true for the prices we were seeing. You know, so a lot of people, what they do is they just ensure the house is looking good, take pictures, upload on such sites, and by the time you eventually get the house, the house might not be, you know, might not have those furnishings that you've seen in the pictures, you know, especially if you don't have someone that can go and look at the place for you. You know, so it was a bit of a struggle, because we said, okay, let's just get Airbnb, and when we get to Canada, we would personally go and look for houses, you know, go for, what they call these things, showings. We'll go for showings and, you know, go and look at the houses ourselves. But we said the cost of getting an Airbnb and the cost of getting accommodation, it's better you get your accommodation so you know that you are settled here for a while, than getting Airbnb and start, you know, all of that hassle. And we're coming in winter. You know, if you're coming in the summer, coming in a time where it's not so cold, going for showing, to look at houses might not really be a problem. But when it's very cold and you don't have a means of transportation, the next best thing is for you to look for accommodation before coming into Canada, or get someone that can help you, you know, get a house before you come to Canada. So I would advise you, if you're going to a city, please join groups, Telegram groups, WhatsApp groups of people already resident in that city. See, there's nothing that humans, there's no need that you want. God will not come down to come and fulfill that need for you. It's human being that he will use to help you fulfill that need. So use your connections, or use your connections. So if you're, for example, if you're going to Toronto, join Nigerians living in Toronto, either on WhatsApp or Telegram. If you're going to Ottawa, join Nigerians living in Ottawa, whether on Telegram or WhatsApp. And if you don't have access to those groups, just join general groups and ask people. There are post PPR groups, there are so many groups. In fact, I'm still in some of those groups because I still get information from them, you know. So join those groups. A lot of people like to do you know, on your own, but please, when it comes to getting information, or in a country that you've not been, or in a country that you don't really have much information, it's advisable to be in familiar groups where you can actually get information from. So we joined, we're definitely coming to Waterloo. We had made up our minds that we're coming to region of Kitchener-Waterloo, but we did not know if we were going to be in Waterloo or Kitchener. So we decided to join a group on Telegram. It's Nigerians living in the region of Waterloo, and on that group, I realized that some people were posting vacancies about apartments, and that was how we got to see what this vacancy. It's a 1-bedroom basement here in Waterloo, you know. So we saw this vacancy and we looked at it and was like, oh, it fits right within it, hit our budget right in the neck. So we were like, we are definitely taking this, you know. So I had to contact our landlord. And discuss with him, you know, and I spoke with the wife, and over time I was just keeping in touch. See, and when you get an apartment, especially when you've not paid immediately, please be keeping in touch with the owners of the property, so that you don't hear story later. Because I've read some situations whereby, you know, someone say, oh, I found a house, and eventually the house was given to someone else. So you have to be on your toes when you've seen the house that you want, and especially when it's, you know, it's just that sweet spot, it hits right within your budget. Okay, so that was how, there's no other magic. That was how we got the apartment. Then we paid. You have to secure the apartment. If you are scared and say, oh, if I pay, that means you're not serious. Because I don't know if people legit to tell you that, okay, come all the way to Canada, I'll keep the house for you. When you come, you pay. But I know a lot of my friends that even got houses through Facebook Marketplace, they had to pay before coming here. It now depends on the start time, the agreement you have with the landlord or the agents. And their agents also, and the beautiful thing about some agents here in Canada that I'm aware of is they don't charge you, because they already have their own commission from the rent you're paying the landlord. So if you're using an agent, for example, unlike Nigeria now, they'll say, oh, 12% commission on the rent is what you're going to pay the agent. Here they don't collect, that I know of, they don't collect agency fee while they are searching for houses for you. So it's a win-win situation, right? So like I said, join groups, be ready to make a deposit or even pay the exact sum. Some landlords can tell you to pay a particular number of months, maybe 3 months, or it depends. And also depends on your negotiation skills. See, you have to bring out your negotiation skills. They cannot tell you one and you stand at one. You have to bring it down to half. Okay, so I will tell you our experience so far. We've been in Canada since February. So I'm going to tell you our experience so far in staying in a basement. I'll say, is it cold? Yes, it's cold. But the upside is, like now, it's very hot. Not very hot, at least the weather is hot. In some certain apartments, you might need a fan, you might start looking for AC. But here, we don't need any of that because it's naturally cold in the basement. But it's not as cold as speculated, because I remember when we were trying to get the basement, we were doing researches, trying to find out, is it truly as cold? I was even thinking that I cannot even walk barefooted on the floor. During winter, yes, I had to put on my socks, kit up my kid with his socks, my husband too, but now that winter is, is over, let's just say it's over for now. We don't need socks in the house. Like, it's not wearing it is just because if you want to, but it's not necessary. It's not as cold as people make it seem. So then let me tell you, some basements are built, like your rent is built together with your utilities, while some are not. So you have to make inquiries. If you're getting a basement, find out from the people at the top floor, the landlord or the landlady, if you're paying for utilities or if the utilities is included in the rent. Then also you have shared facilities. Some basements have their own kitchen, have their own laundry, while some you have to share certain amenities like a washer and a dryer. You also have to share the kitchen. So if you're sharing the washer and dryer, for some basements they will tell you that you should pick a day, where you wash, while some will tell you, okay, you have to wash a certain number of days in a week. Then also, if you're sharing utilities and you're sharing and the bill is part of your rent, you have to be very economical, because obviously you know that you're not paying utilities and utilities are already in the rent. So you don't want to be living la vida loca. You don't want to on all the lights in the house. You don't want to open the tap down. You don't want to be using the heater 24/7. You have to be reasonable. Because if you are not reasonable, they will boot you out. I'm just joking, but you really have to be reasonable when it comes to consumption, because energy consumption here is very high. It has actually increased from last year. I had a friend tell me that what she used to pay last year and what she's paying right now, the difference is so wide. So you have to be reasonable when it comes to, especially when you're not paying utilities, when the utilities is embedded in your rent. You have to be reasonable when it comes to hot water usage. They use hydro here, they use gas, so you have to really watch it. Yes, some basements have windows, while some do not have windows. Ours, we do not have a window, but I've seen some lovely basement that has windows both in the living room, in the bedroom. But really, what do you need the windows for? In Canada, they really open their windows, to be honest. But some people just want to see what's going on outside. Not that like you're living, like my mom would say, you're living underground. You're not seeing what's going on in the outside world, you know. So if you're a fan of wanting to see the outside, before you get the basement, ensure you find out if there's a window or there's no window. Then some basements, they are shared entrances. You know, it's just one main entrance into the house. Then when you enter the house, either you go through a particular corner and go, you know, downstairs into your basement, or you have two separate entrances. The people on the top floor have their own entrance into the house, while you living in the basement, you also have your own entrance into the house. So you also want to find out if that is what you want. If you're not okay with, you know, every time you're coming in, you know, everybody knows you're coming in. Anytime you're going out, everybody knows you're going out. If you're not okay with that, you might not want to use a shared entrance basement. And also, if you're living in a basement, you have to be watchful of the kind of visitors you bring to your house, because it's not just only your house. You cannot be it's true. It's very, very true, because you need to just like you like your own privacy. You don't like certain people coming to your house. You have to think about that too, so that you don't cause problems for yourself. Now it's more like you are a roommate. Fine, it's a house in a house, but you're still roommates. So you don't want to disrespect the owner of the house by bringing in certain kind of people. I don't want to mention names. Certain kind of people that they know that, you know, they might not really like, or you know that they are not even appropriate to bring into people's houses. Anyways, I have my notes here in case you see me looking down. No. Then also, like I said, it's cold. So during the winter, you might want to get a heater. Find out if there's a heater in the apartment. If there's no heater, you might want to get a heater in the apartment. Like I said, it's colder than the top floor. So then you know that in Canada, it's not like unlike in Nigeria, where it's brick and cement that they used to build their house. Canada is wood. So you have to be careful, because wood noise pass easily through wood, you know. So loud music, if you're living in a basement, anything like loud music, or you're watching TV, you're the kind of person that likes to watch theater. When you're watching TV, it's like you want to enjoy the sounds. Better go and get earpiece. No, I'm just joking. It's not an earpiece. It's not that bad. But what I'm saying is you have to bring down the noise. If you like, go and buy noise cancellation machine. You just have to reduce the noise in the apartment. No loud music, excessive loud music, so you don't disturb the people upstairs. Don't, you know, when you're watching TV, put it in the minimal. You know, when you're even having conversations in your house, there's some conversations you just want to have, maybe with your spouse or with your child. You have to lower your tone. If not, the whole world will hear your conversation. The whole world will just carry your news. You know, so it's that serious. When I talk about, like, I can be in the kitchen, I can hear my baby crying downstairs. So it's the noise filters. So you just have to be careful with so that you don't upset people with noise. Another thing I want to say is, okay, they're returning late at night as well, especially when you're now using shared entrance. You don't want to do it, because if you're staying, it depends on the people you're staying with actually. So if you're maybe like a young couple, then you get an apartment with a young couple, and you know they're outgoing and you're also outgoing, I don't think they will have a problem. But if you now get an apartment with an elderly woman, like a mama, you get an apartment with one elderly mama, maybe in her 60s, and you're not coming back home late at night, you don't think she will like it. So so you have to watch out for that too. What else? Okay, I thought about shared facilities, basement with windows. Yes, some basement comes pre-furnished, while some do not come pre-furnished. Same way you're getting an apartment that's not a basement, some come pre-furnished, some don't come pre-furnished. So you also have to make this inquiry. Yes, when we got here, we had a chair, we had dining sets, a refrigerator, microwave, bed, reading table, reading chair. You know, all these appliances were here. We didn't buy these appliances. So when we're going, obviously we cannot carry it now. So you need to find out if it's pre-furnished or if it's not pre-furnished. So you know that, okay, if it's not pre-furnished, you know that you have to, you know, increase your budget. You know, you have to start buying appliances in the house and stuff. So what else do I want to say? Okay, then the myths about the reason I even want to make this video, or the reason I even made this video, was because someone I think put it in the comment section that I stay in a basement and my videos are bright. I'm like, I don't understand. Am I supposed to be living inside a dark hole? So because you're in a basement doesn't mean that it's going to be dark. It doesn't mean that it's going to be depressing. Okay, for example, if there is no lights, and obviously I'm in the top floor, if let's say there's power outage and I'm in the top floor, if I open the windows and open maybe the glass door or something, definitely light will come into the apartment. Yes, I agree. And if I'm downstairs and there's power outage, light is not coming from anywhere, it's going to be pitch black. I understand that is what the person meant, but obviously there's no power outage, light is lighting. So I'm not supposed to be living inside the dark. And another thing, people assume that if you stay in a basement you'll be depressed. I ain't depressed. In fact, I think I'm out of my peers. I make the most TikTok videos, so I am not depressed. I don't know where people get these ideas from. Depression is a state of mind that you have to be cautious about. So if you feel like you're getting to that state, please open TikTok and start, you know, mimicking all those dances. You will get out of that depression so fast. TikTok is actually, to me, I feel is therapeutic, but people don't know it. What else I want to say? Yeah, so in some situations, if you drive a car, I don't have a car yet, but I know the Lord I serve is going to do something soon. So for people that don't have that intend to get a car when they come to, you cannot carry a car from Nigeria obviously, so you intend to get a car when you come to Canada, and you want to stay in a basement, you need to find out the parking situation of the environment. Okay, it might be just one parking space, and if it's just one parking space and your people at the top floor have a car, where do you want to park? So you need to find out alternative parking inquiries. Make the inquiries before you just land and you start immediately looking for where to go and rent house. Once you just land, you're supposed to just land and settle, and you know, start planning your life down to start jumping from house to house. Okay, then price range of basements, it varies. I cannot really give a definitive. There are some basements that are extremely sweet. I saw a picture of a 2-bedroom basement. That basement was just too sweet, and it was going for 2,800 Canadian dollars. I know there are apartments that are not even going for 2,800 Canadian dollars in these parts of Waterloo, but this basement is so sweet. It's ensuite with everything, and it was going for $2,800. So there are various. It depends. There are different price points. You can get a basement of 1,000 to 1,001 to like 1,008 for like a 1-bedroom. Then for like a 2-bedroom, I think you can get from like 1,008 to like 2,002, thereabouts, in Waterloo. I'm not saying in Alberta or in Winnipeg. You will see basement there of 900 Canadian dollars. No jokes. Like when I see some rent, I'm like, why did I come through PNP? Why did I come through provision? I should have just gone there and go and rent one townhouse there. I'm spending this amount in Ontario. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I think I've mentioned everything I know about staying in the basement. It's not depressing. Yes, it's cold and it's not dark. There's definitely, like, except there's power outage, that's when it can be pitch black. Then it's affordable if you're trying to be minimalist and if you're trying to have a budget, because it can save you from spending a lot, you know. But you have to look at the kind of basement you want to get. Don't go and get this one I just told you about if you're trying to, you know, cut costs. So if you have more questions about living in the basement, put it in the comment section and I will definitely respond to all your inquiries. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in again. I'm your girl Stels. Bye bye.